Hi, everyone. My name is Jeanette. You never forget your very first day of school. I was 5 years old, sitting in the passenger seat of my mom's car, clutching my backpack as tightly as my hands could hold and looking anxiously at her for some word of encouragement. She squeezed my hand and told me, "Jeanette, today is one of the biggest days of your life. Today you have the opportunity to go to school and get an education. And with an education, you can do anything. Promise me that you'll work as hard as you can, go to college, and change the world." Coming from someone who grew up in poverty on the island of Trinidad and never had the opportunity to attend college herself, I truly felt the weight of the belief that she placed on me. I promised myself on that day that I would carry that belief forward. And that belief is the reason that I stand here today. 4 years ago, that faith began to materialize in a forward phrase that most of you have come to associate with Belmont: from here to anywhere. I remember reading it on my application materials, hearing it time and time again on preview day, and then as I was filled with joy after being admitted, I was going to be here. I was wanted here. I wasn't really sure what the "to anywhere" part of that phrase meant just yet, but I knew that I had been given an opportunity my mother and many others had dreamed and prayed for me over all those years. Every single day that I've been a student here at Belmont, I felt loved, cherished, and believed in. My time here has not been without its challenges. There were many days that I doubted my abilities and my faith was shaken. But even in these valleys, I knew that I was surrounded by a community that prides itself on seeking and believing the best in each other. This encouragement enabled me to do things that I would never have expected out of a typical college experience. As a social entrepreneurship major, I was able to live out one of my favorite quotes by Frederick Buechner: "Your calling is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." I had the opportunity to experience this deep hunger firsthand at the Dream Center, which brings hope and healing to a community that has been plagued by poverty, violence, and crime. An outreach of Crosspoint Church, the Dream Center provides many free services to this community, including dental care, single-parent classes, a food bank, and support groups for those struggling with addiction. As an intern for the Dream Center, I aided in these various community outreach programs, as well as helped plan the first Dream Center 5K, which took place May of last year. This event brought together community partners from all over Nashville for a day of healthy living and celebration of a neighborhood that has long been overlooked. On that day, a hunger was satisfied, not just for physical needs, but the simple gift of human connection. Another opportunity I had to connect my gladness to the world's hunger occurred just 2 blocks from campus at the Cookery. This restaurant was started by Brett Swain and Terry Kemper as an extension of a ministry they began for homeless men. Formerly homeless himself, Brett wanted to help develop men who had lost their sense of purpose by equipping them with a skill that is both restorative and valuable: cooking. The men enter a 6-month discipleship program through which they experience spiritual growth and guidance, as well as learning culinary arts. To bring awareness to this incredible organization, myself and 3 other members of the Honorship Leadership Program wrote, published, and released a cookbook featuring the redemptive stories of the men of the Cookery, along with some of their beloved recipes. This book had an overwhelmingly positive response, and we're optimistic that it will open some great doors for this organization. Plus, I get to say that I graduated by writing a cookbook, which is pretty cool. I found my deep gladness in being able to step into the stories of people right here in Nashville and use the skills I developed at Belmont to bring hope and healing. Empowering others to live a better story has become my life's passion. Belmont not only helped me to recognize that passion here, it also gave me an opportunity to take it across the world. This past summer, I received funding to teach English and coach soccer to impoverished communities as a Lumos Fellow in South Africa. I'm proud to say that I'll be moving to South Africa later this summer to continue my work in community development. So that's my story. But what does that mean for the rest of us sitting here? Today, each of us finds ourselves at the last part of that phrase: from here to anywhere. Luke 12:48 says that to whom much is given, much is required. The core of what this university believes is that each of us is a vessel. That our pursuits, accomplishments, and ambitions are not simply for our own gain, but for the growth of others and the glory of God. It's the idea that changing the world starts with one person investing their belief in another, who carries that same belief to another and another and another. Year by year, we are building a community that prides itself on service to each other and to the rest of the world. Like one candle lighting another, our faith brings light and hope to those around us so that they, in turn, can share it with others. Tomorrow, we will be walking across the stage with that diploma, but that will be the least of the things that Belmont has given us. The deep relationships that we have formed with faculty and staff, men and women who have inspired us to live a life of character and service, and the lifelong friendships that we've made with the people sitting right in this room. Those are things that can't be framed on a wall or put on a resume. And who knows? Maybe someday each of us will be lucky enough to sit in the driver's seat on someone else's first day of school, to squeeze their hand and tell them how much we believe in them, in the hopes that they too will carry that belief forward. Thank you.